Heart of the Matter wouldn't be possible without the support of our sponsors, Coast News Group, Godania Organic Eatery, Repegs, and John Milkowski Tax Law. Together, let's get to the heart of the matter. Welcome to the Heart of Matter podcast. I'm Junon.
I'm Dr. Lisa, Solana Beach chiropractor.
David Steele.
Welcome. Thank you.
And
our sponsors.
We wouldn't be able to do this podcast without Los Cuernos Wines, our favorite sommelier-derived canned wine. This is our gift for you, David.
Oh, wow.
Thanks for being here today.
I didn't even know. Thank you.
Sure thing.
And actually, red blend would be my favorite. If you asked, what would you want?
Perfect. See, we did our research.
We knew it. We knew it ahead of time.
All right. Well, so we'll start off first. I mean, we met through the group. What do you think of the group? How'd you hear about the group?
Well, I remember it was a funny story when I did my little 30-second. I said, this must be a cult because I had like five different people that told me about the group.
Right.
My friend Michelle Rooney was the one who actually got me here that day. And I'm like going, why are so many people telling me about this? Why do so many people want me in? I think of myself as a connector. Maybe that's why.
Yeah. He's got to sign over 10% of his assets.
But I've really enjoyed it. I've met some cool people. I hired an admin from here. She introduced herself, said I graduated summa cum laude. I happen to be sitting next to her.
Wow.
And I'm like, I want to hire people smarter than me all the time. So
see, you just never know.
That's awesome. We're changing the name to The Cult. So
exactly.
It's turning over.
Hey,
there you go.
Yeah, and cults aren't necessarily bad. It's like,
right.
It's just an interpretation. You know?
Sure.
Till we start offing each other.
Yes.
Well, that's amazing. I appreciate you being a part of it. We see you every week. You're very interactive. You've helped out a lot of people within the group. But tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, are you local? Where did you come from before that?
I am a local. I feel like I was born and raised here, but I actually moved here from Miami Beach when I was 17. So I went from one beach to the other beach, and I freaking love it here.
Right.
And I spend of 100% of my time, I spend 60% of it doing marketing and AI work for companies.
Okay.
And I spend probably at least 40% of my time doing nonprofit work. And it's something that I just get so much out of, and it's something I really enjoy.
Right.
And so, I always have like 3 or 4 projects on. I'm a consummate entrepreneur.
Yeah,
I always have 3 businesses I'm doing.
That's why we
at
get
the same
along.
time.
So
Yeah. Do we have to be ADHD?
Maybe. Well, what I love about, we talk about all the time, you're that perfect balance of business with heart. So it's like the nonprofit, the heart, and the business. I mean, you've had a really good career, and it's continuing. You have a lot of different projects going on. That's amazing. Is that something that you've kind of always been, even through as a child, that you've had that heart and business and kind of sense?
You know what? I always knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. And studied business and marketing in college, and then had a slew of different jobs because I just learned different things from different places because I always knew I was going to do my own thing, and learned a ton being a San Diego lifeguard, learned about really true leadership and just the funnest environment in the world. Having a job where you're like, I don't think anyone knows they're actually paying us to do this. Like I would pay to do this job. Just everything from, working in hospitality, working in sales, working as I hired and trained instructors for 10 fitness centers and worked in fitness for a number of years.
Wow.
And just did a lot of different things because I wanted to learn more about leadership. And I wanted to figure out what I wanted to be when I grew up, which I'm still always thinking about.
Right.
So I've done lots of things. Many years ago, I started a marketing agency, and at the time there was a lot of Facebook people, and starting maybe a little bit of Instagram was just starting up. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do that. I'm going to do LinkedIn because it's business to business. It's kind of like we know so much about people. So I started an agency to help businesses get more clients. Because in my mind, if I could bring clients into my business that weren't word of mouth, that are going to experience my service or product and become word of mouth, then my business is sustainable. And so I started doing that, and I've been doing that for a long time. And been through it. Now Microsoft owns LinkedIn, and it's all AI enabled, and it's like everything we did has even gotten better.
Wow.
You know, and so it's been really fun. And that's one thing I've been doing constant, and had other many businesses and helped other people along the way. But
well, I think a lot of people I mean, a lot of users on LinkedIn, but I feel like a lot of people sleep on LinkedIn. They think it's like social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. They forget about LinkedIn. I get a lot of referrals. I get a lot of business contacts from LinkedIn.
Well, pretty much everyone will say, you're not going to believe this, but I don't really do much on LinkedIn. And I'm like, really? I've never heard that before. But I think what's good about it is that the world has changed. You know, we're not blacksmiths or just hairstylists, or we're universal citizens. You know, I work with customers all over the world. You know, and so if that's the case, we know the most about our customers on LinkedIn. We know, what their interests are by the groups they're in. We know what their job title is. We know where they've worked. We know what size their company is. We know what region their company's in. So we can use all of this data and content. And if we have an avatar of who we want to connect with, who our service best fits, then you have a really good combination. And there's ways to reach out and really add value. And so it creates a more sustainable business. And that's kind of what we're all doing, Right. But if we thought about it 10 years ago, most of us weren't doing business outside of our general area, and now we are, with the exception of the group, which is why we need it, that we can all connect and remember that we can still connect, but yeah.
Definitely. LinkedIn, you're right, is B2B. There's a further reach versus Instagram, Facebook. I know a lot of people like to put ads in there too, but that seems to be more like one-on-one services. Maybe the service provider is also the one doing their marketing and also doing their own billing and yada, yada, versus LinkedIn is like, we've got a team and there's going to be more reach, getting more eyes internationally on LinkedIn versus, I don't know, like a small business owner using Instagram, like for very low cost. What would you say, is there potential for a new kind of social media, or are we really sticking to those three? Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn?
There is going to be new because of AI. We could build new things that are bigger, better, faster in less time than ever in history. So there's always going to be new things. I think that the interesting part about LinkedIn is it becomes your persona, So because LinkedIn has such a high search optimization rate, when I type your name, your LinkedIn is going to come up first. Unless you actually own the domain of your exact name, that might come first. But other than that, your LinkedIn profile is the first experience someone's going to have of who you are. And so, a lot of people uploaded their resume 10 years ago, and that's where it's sat, But this is an opportunity to kind of stand out because so few people really do, help you really do optimize what they're looking for. And then the other thing that's really, really cool is we were joking before, but I did hire an admin from the group.
That's great.
But we want to hire people that have already done the job that we're doing. And so many people create an ad for a job, and they're like, who's looking for work? And it's people looking for work. But why not reach out to people that are already doing the job? Because you've got a better product, service, company, culture, whatever have you. So I'm going to reach out to hundreds of people that have the exact job I'm looking for and saying, hey, I think you might be qualified. Take a look at this. And so as far as recruiting goes, that's where the recruiters are. And so that's where the jobs are. So there's different things, and LinkedIn isn't the end all be all, but it absolutely should be a part of your strategy, to either acquire customers, acquire talent, or showcase who you are. If you're in your company and you're trying to raise money, guaranteed someone's going to Google your name and look and see your LinkedIn profile. Right?
Have you updated yours?
Yes, but I need to be more active. You're motivating me. What's the name of the company that you work with LinkedIn?
Brandon, what's going on? This is going to be our biggest deal. We can't be down.
I don't know, man. I've been trying to reach tech support for hours now. They're not responding. They said they're probably not going to get back to us for the next couple of days.
Tennessee Tech told you this was going to happen. Let's call them right now. They do the tech support, cybersecurity. They can help us.
Let's do it. All right, team. Great job. Because of Tenisi Tech, we were able to present this and close it. Good job, team.
Everyone linked.
Everyone linked.
That makes a lot of sense.
Kind of make it easy.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
We are all linked, and I do that, and it's fun. And now it's fun because of LinkedIn being AI enabled. Messaging and reaching out to people is about figuring out what you provide that would be of value to somebody else. Who's that avatar of that person, and how can I provide value? So over the time, I've learned how to show value in as few words as possible, because people are have very short attention spans online, right? And now with AI, we can get ideas or look at it and go, oh, wow, that's a really good way to put that.
Right.
That's a really good way to do that. So like the efficacy has gotten better, and we can now reach out in different ways with different tools, starting with LinkedIn, but then bringing them into Go High Level or whatever CRM or whatever program you're using to expand and grow your business.
So, I mean, you've obviously been involved with AI since kind of the beginning, and you've adapted each time. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that aren't sure how to use it. Like, what do you suggest? How do you suggest utilizing it? Because now ZoomInfo has Copilot. There's a lot of different things that AI can do everything for you.
Yeah. So you know how you learn AI?
Use it.
I wanted to say F around, and I already said it, but you just get on there and start using it.
Okay.
And then, and then you figure out what tools you like. Here's the challenge with AI is that we understand the world based on our experience, and no one has an experience of what this is. And so some people fear it, some people don't like it, some people embrace it. But the thing of it is that it's not a train and you missed it, and don't worry, I'm this old and I don't have to get on it. It's a freaking merry-go-round. As soon as you step on with ChatGPT or Perplexity or whatever you use, as soon as you step on, you're on with everybody else, and it's evolving so quickly and getting easier and easier. And so, one of the things that's changing very rapidly is the input device. I've been using technology almost since technology, and I still type with like this on a text message. Like, things are changing, right? So now this year, you're going to see a lot of people with glasses that they just talk to, or, we'll see the input devices change. The best way to learn AI is just to do it.
Right. Yeah, because I get a lot of, and you can kind of tell, because obviously it's going to get better and better. I mean, they even have the voice system where it sounds like you're speaking to a real person, but I do see a lot of messaging from people on LinkedIn that I'm like, oh, ChatGPT wrote that. I can tell it's not you.
Yeah, so in ChatGPT in particular, little helpful hint.
Yeah.
If you're paying the huge $20 a month to access the full system, you can go in the preferences and tell it how you want it to write for you. So say, I don't like green boxes with check marks. Don't ever use those, right? Because as soon as I see those, I'm like,
you're like, oh, you
this
didn't
is just
write that.
AI, and it takes a little bit away from my enthusiasm about what I'm reading.
Right.
And so, like, you can customize it. And what I'll usually share with people, I'm like, here's my script, and it has all of these things that the way I want it to sound, and the way I want it to be more like myself, right?
Right.
And so
this is where in the editing process we should have you like tick, 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 and show that example. But go ahead.
Yeah, I could show that example. And then the other thing that people don't realize is GPTs. Like, you use ChatGPT by asking questions and things like that. But on the left side, it says Explore GPTs. Everybody's familiar with the Apple Store or Android Store.
Right.
That's what that is. So people have created GPTs for anything. If you wanted to know about pickleball, horse racing, surfing, anything you can think of, you'll find it in there. So click on that, that Explore GPTs, and type prompt optimizer. Two words, prompt optimizer. And it will bring up probably 100 different people that have written one. The one I like is called prompt optimizer. When you use that, you can say, oh, I create a prompt about running a small business with a $500 a month budget, and I want to know the best way to advertise. It's a really silly prompt that's not like very thought out. And prompt optimizer will spit out like a 3-paragraph. You are a such and such, and you've done this, and it will make this incredible prompt that you copy and either paste it in ChatGPT or whatever AI you're using. And it's so much better, right?
Right.
Because
sure.
you've heard that term, prompt engineering, right? It's prompt engineering, but you didn't have to learn how to say you are this, and this is your task, and this is the way I want it formatted.
Okay.
It does it for you.
So smart.
It is. This episode I'm going to rewatch because I want to figure out how to do all that. Wow.
Prompt optimizer.
Prompt optimizer. Okay, so like obviously everyone can use the service, right? I mean, so it's something that even small business solopreneurs to large companies. I mean,
So
what's your target?
So typically, I love working with. First off, I love working with businesses that are making a difference, right? I'm an environmentalist, and also I want to work with companies that they've already figured out who their avatar is. When I say avatar, they figured out who their customer is,
Right.
and ideally, they've already been successful in selling to them, right? This is much easier than if like, let's test this, let's test that. I've always wanted to sell to this, and I'm like, but I've never done it. It's better if you're doing a few $1 million and you want to expand on it or whatever have you. Obviously I work with small companies sometimes, but I work with a lot of bigger companies too, and for a long time, because like once we figure it out, then it's like, oh great, this makes sense, this has ROI every month. It works.
Small companies become big companies when they have an avatar, when they have that niche, and they just hone in on that. And maybe they can use everyone linked to help that happen.
Yep. I actually, if you're looking to expand your, what you're doing with LinkedIn and what you're doing with marketing, on the way here, I created Jump on Zoom. You just type jumponzoom.com.
Okay.
It brings you into my calendar to set up a 30-minute call.
Really? Smart. Did ChatGPT tell you how to do that, or did you just do that?
I've had that for almost since Zoom began.
Right.
And and so
jump on Zoom.
There you go.
Jumponzoom.com.
Yeah.
That's to set up a 30-minute appointment.
Right.
And we'll kind of, talk about what your business is and kind of what's possible.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for something, next level. Whenever I do a presentation on Zoom, it takes your video away. So I can't see the students in the presentation when I have my own slides. I'm like, damn it, Zoom. Can't we just tweak that one little thing?
Oh, got you. You can do it with a second monitor.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's
problem
the
solved.
only way.
Yeah.
Problem solved. See, we don't see problems, just solutions.
I've been working with Power for the last few years. Power is a public benefit corporation, carbon neutral solar company that sells in 27 states. They're headquartered here in Carlsbad. And when COVID broke out, the founder, Jonathan Budd, is just a stud, man. He's amazing. And they wanted to be able to do training all around the world.
Right.
So they set up a studio where we can actually see like hundreds and hundreds of people on Zoom at the same time. 300-degree video all around. There's 2 of them that were made. One's Tony Robbins and one is the Power corporate office in Carlsbad. I'll take you there to see it.
I would love to see.
It's pretty incredible.
That.
So they could do training. You could come and speak. You're on camera, and you could see, 400 or 500 people on Zoom at the same time.
Amazing. It's going to be, I'm sure, like a VR eventually, where you can actually see the people.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And they're carbon neutral.
Yeah.
What's the name of that company?
Power, P-O-W-U-R.
Yeah.
Yes, and unfortunately, this administration is not very keen on solar and wind power. So some of the regulations are changing, and if people want solar, and you want to own it, and you want a federal tax credit of 30%, it has to be installed this year.
Right.
That's right. By the end of the year.
You literally have like a month.
Wow.
Because it's going to get really impacted at the end of the year.
Hey, can you believe we have 336 members now of the group?
I know. Crazy
growing
how
so much.
fast that was actually in a
Let's
year.
celebrate.
Okay, you're always wanting, look at that. Look how quick he is to celebrate.
Well, we have to celebrate.
What are you looking for though?
So that corkscrew.
Tune. Los Cuernos. No corkscrew needed. What do you want? You want a rosé? Red, another red, but you want Chardonnay, I'm sure.
Chardonnay, just
Pop that open.
So you're going to see a spike in solar business until the end of the year, and then what happens after that?
It will be challenging.
Yeah.
You can still do what's called third-party ownership, which is like a lease or PPM.
Okay.
And they'll still get the tax credit. So they'll get the tax credit and give you the lesser price.
Right.
So there's some advantages to it. It's just a little bit more of a complex financial instrument. It's not, it'll still work. Solar's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But we will, unfortunately, see a slowdown because of that federal tax credit.
You mentioned solar when we were talking off camera. So how do you work with solar in your own business?
I live in a solar home, and I drive an electric car that's powered by solar.
Awesome.
And for the last 5 or 6 years, I've been doing solar with power, so helping homeowners go solar all over the country.
Right.
And so I do that everywhere. It's just another business. Into the next year, I still have my license. I still will help people, but it's not my main focus because it's going to be a little more challenging.
Right. Okay. Understandable. I'm noticing a lot of my friends in solar pivoting, but they're hunkering down. They're like, buy before this tax credit goes away.
Yeah.
This is your opportunity.
Yeah. And it will still go. And Jonathan Budd is really a genius, and he's figuring out ways that, will be very viable going forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, it's amazing. I mean, because we had coffee. You do a lot. You do more than I do even. So it's like
I don't know about that.
Well, so then how do you balance out the heart of things? Because obviously, if you concentrate on just business, we see a lot of people that are, that do extremely well, but they burn out because it's just business.
Yeah,
What do you do to balance it out?
So a lot of my businesses have been along where my passions are, so like being a lifeguard.
Yeah.
I also went from the Solana Beach Chamber to the San Diego Green Chamber of Commerce to teach about sustainable business. And then we became the U.S. Green Chamber of Commerce so that we could teach sustainable business throughout the country. Never quite became the answer to the U.S. Chamber, but we've helped thousands and thousands of people to know that you can do business sustainably, typically for less money than not doing it that way. So sometimes it's that way where it's like I'm actually working in something that I really believe in. When I work with Everyone Linked, I'm always looking for customers that are in the environmental slant. I've been working with Solitube for over a decade that provides natural daylighting and working with them all over the world. On the nonprofit side, I have 2 big causes in my life: children and the environment. And so I've always reached out and done nonprofit work. I've been on the board of Conscious Humanity for, I don't want to say anymore, like 3 decades. And just bringing the work of a program called Growing the Empowered Child, where we believe that if we could raise a generation of children free from fear and anger, that understand their uniqueness and the uniqueness of others is how to create world peace. And so I've been working with this organization for a long time. My most recent proudest thing was I went to Rancho de los Niños, this beautiful orphanage in Baja, 3 years ago on my birthday in September with my son. We were going to go there first. If I put something on Facebook or Insta, like my car is full. So we had a full car of stuff to bring down there. And Jorge, the director, I asked him, what's his biggest challenge? And almost in tears as he's telling me the story, he's like, 1/3 of young women get pregnant in Baja, 1/3. And he's like, the hospital calls me because some small child had a baby and left. And if I can't take the baby, there's not a good solution, and he can't take them. And so I'm like, I want to build a baby nursery. So we started. My son took out my GoPro, and that started the GoFundMe. And it took 3 years. We did a couple white parties, Christmas parties.
Wow.
A bunch of other people donated. Like the community came together. Harv, who's in the group, donated bikes to all the older kids so they could get jobs further than walking distance. And we just had the ribbon cutting about a month ago.
Oh, wow.
And we have 9 babies there already that
Really?
once have had a home.
Wow.
And yeah, we're going to raise a little more money because it's like we want really amazing education.
Right.
But this is not like an orphanage like you might envision.
Right.
Sure.
It's beautiful. Like they have these dorms and each has a male and a female figure. The person that we worked with was the nonprofit was Corazon de Vida.
Wow.
They are like a top GuideStar rated incredible nonprofit, and they fund 10 orphanages.
Wow.
And the last money came in from a family office in Mexico City
Really?
that has more money than we ever dreamed of, and we're hoping that they love it, and I think they will, and
they
they'll
can
help us
continue.
build more. But they did agree to provide scholarships for some of the kids every year to go to college.
Amazing.
So that was a big deal.
Well, so just so the audience knows, how do they contribute? How do they get involved with that?
I'll share the GoFundMe, which
Okay.
we're like at the
Perfect.
top of it, but we're going to raise a little more money for the actual staffing and things
Okay.
like that. If anyone wants to go down there, Corazon de Vida is the nonprofit that supports
Corazon de Vida,
10
okay.
orphanages, and they do bus trips down there.
Wow.
It is amazing when you go down there.
Yeah.
It's really like life-changing. And Rancho de los Niños is this orphanage, which is in Valle de Guadalupe, the best wineries,
Yes.
Right.
some of the best
Yes.
restaurants, better than here. Like literally some of the best restaurants you could ever find are in that area. So it's like you can go and do a nice thing at the orphanage and then
Yeah.
have an incredible evening there. So yeah, it's a beautiful place.
Wow.
And I work with a friend of mine who has something called Greatness Ventures, and we build homes down in Mexico.
Wow.
So there's a lot of people that have gone on our trips and then started doing the homes themselves.
Right.
But there's a whole kind of industry of it. It's in a little town just past Ensenada, and these people save up to buy the dirt. It might be $8,000, $10,000, and they might be paying, $50 or $100 a month, which is a ton for them. And we arrive and there's just a concrete slab on Friday, and on Sunday morning we give them a house with 2 rooms and a
You're
loft.
kidding.
If you haven't done it, the group should do one. They're
That's a good
amazing.
idea. Yeah.
The
We're
group
in.
should do one. There's a bunch. We all stay in this big beach house, and
Really?
it's you go and you meet, and we get in a circle, and it's like, a bunch of strangers. A bunch of us come again and again, so we know. But by the end, we're all like dear close friends, and it's like,
I love that.
it's one of the most rewarding things you can do in San Diego, and it's a weekend.
Right. Exactly.
It's a weekend, and the house. You have a family of 5 that was basically living in the dirt.
Right.
Wow.
We're so lucky to be so close to Mexico. There's
Yeah.
so much opportunity for nonprofits, business south of the border, but also the things that you're building in Mexico, they would probably cost 5 times as much
Oh, yeah.
in San Diego, and that dollar, that peso is going so much further
Right.
to Mexico. How many, you said there's 9 people at Rancho de los Niños?
No, there's 9 new babies in the
New
baby nursery
babies.
already.
Oh my gosh.
The orphanage has anywhere between 85 and 100 kids,
Incredible.
Wow.
including some special needs kids.
Wow. How many staff do you think you would need for every 10 babies or every, 20 children?
I actually have, there's people that have looked at and do those budgets. I haven't done them, but babies require a lot more
Sure.
money, diapers, baby food,
Yeah.
and staffing. And there's typically probably like 4 staff there all
Wow.
the time.
Oh,
And
wow.
we built a facility where they could live there as well. So the
Right.
staff and the baby. So there's like 2 big, huge baby dorms, and then in the middle is the staff, and there's like a window to both sides
Wow.
that they can see
I
it.
can't imagine what life would be like for those babies if they didn't have that. That's,
Exactly.
I mean,
They end up in a crib with
Yeah.
5 other babies.
Yeah.
It's not a good scene. There's not really resources like we have here.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate everything you do. I mean, it's what's the point of making money and building business if you don't have that part of your heart where you're trying to help? And, it doesn't really, it doesn't honestly take much because they have so little, and just a little effort does a lot. All right, we've done a great job of branding the group and Heart of the Matter. We've grown to close to 600 people. Now, how do we market this? How do we get out there? Do we do SEO? How do we get the news out there?
true.
Yeah, it's doing those house builds is like one of the funnest weekends you could have. And half the people are working on the house, half go and visit a local orphanage, and then we switch off. And it's not work. The baby nursery, I didn't feel like I didn't build the baby nursery. I just raised my hand and said, we need to do this. And the community came together in a big way. But like a lot of people came together and supplied, tons of resources there.
Sure.
So it's, I think we're in a time now where whatever compassion you have, we need to about 10x it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of real silliness going on in the world. It's sad. It's tough.
Right.
If we all just can give back a little bit more.
Right. Well, and everyone, you get kind of caught up in your life. You have bills to pay, you have work, and I like what you said before. If I could mention, for you to reset, you went and fed the homeless. It was kind of like you were having a tough day, and you're like, well, let me go try it. I love that. That's how you reset. Can you tell us a little bit about what you did and why you did it?
It's actually, I look at it, it's not a big deal. It's just something I do every couple months. But if I'm having a week where I'm feeling like uncertain of some things, and we all do at some point, I'm like, I need to have an adjustment. So I made about 150 peanut butter jelly sandwiches. My friends helped fill out a little note for each one.
Wow.
And we got like 200 juice boxes and some fruit and some things, and I just wheeling it around downtown. I wish I could tell you that it was hard to find, but it's not.
Sure.
I found a street where there was just, there's 50, 60 people. And then I just sit down and I just talk with people, and I was talking with this one young woman when I first got there, and she'd been on the street for 4 years. And she's like, this is going to sound crazy, but food is like family. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, I just love food so much. And she's like, I'm grateful. And she said that word, I'm grateful. And I'm like, she's been on the street for 4 years, and I'm like, wow, what are my problems?
Right.
Like I don't really have any. And a lot of times too, I'll hand a sandwich to someone and they're like, want it for their friend before themselves.
Right.
And there was 5% of the people that had been out there too long and probably need some psychiatric help, and there's a few people that need some medical attention, but most of the people, they're just like, I think sometimes there's a stickiness when you get to zero, when you just don't have any resources. Right. And it's hard to lift yourself out of it. And the resources that we have, the shelters, the things like that, they're not enough. They're a lot of times they're full, and it's not that the people don't want to get help, but it's harder than you think.
Sure.
We come from our perspective. What would we do? If you took everything away, we'd go, I do this and I do that.
Right.
But it's different.
Right.
And it's not a big deal to spend an hour and a half passing out some sandwiches and hoping, that they smile. It's not a solution to the problem, but, at least for that moment, for that day, they were so happy to get juice. Then when I woke up the next day, I'm like, I can just wake up and walk in the kitchen and have a glass of water.
Wow.
And then imagine if you can't have like water or juice, Well,
you impacted them, and they obviously impacted you. There's an imprint of that, and that's, that exchange, that energy exchange. But I think too, we get so comfortable, we take things for granted. We have Amazon, we have DoorDash, we have everything. I can decide whatever I want to order, whatever type, and something as simple as a PB&J, and that's amazing to them. That just puts things in perspective.
Yeah. And I don't want to act like it's some big deal or I'm some big humanitarian. I'm not. I made some sandwiches and gave them out. It's not like it's a.
Sure.
It's not like it's a.
But you made the effort, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, and you know what? Whenever I do something for somebody else, I get more out of it than I give. And and so that's why it was it was rewarding, and people will see what you're doing. I can't tell you how many people do house builds now based on, my dear friend Mike Shermakoff starting Greatness and starting bringing trips down there to build homes, and now other people are doing it, and so lots and lots of groups do it, and there's some groups that support you when you go down there,
right?
And get it set up. It's pretty easy, and so you just kind of got to get things going.
Yeah,
it's easy for us to get to a habit of living day by day and just doing the same things or trying new things occasionally. But it's something else to like go, what can I do today that's going to make someone else's life better, in some way.
I love that. I love it. Well, and that's really kind of the concept of the group, is to really try to give, and beautiful things happen. I mean, business will happen. Obviously, you need to pay the bills. You need to, get people through your door. But that act of giving, I tell people all the time, it just comes back. It comes back. I don't ever really talk about my business because I give back, and it just comes back. The universe just delivers. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think the new thing for me this year is I'm looking for opportunities that will thrive in a down economy. If we have to be serious about it,
right?
Based on just what's going on in the world, there's a very good likelihood that things get a little tighter before they loosen up, and they will loosen up. And so I'm looking at things like that. And one of my dearest friends, I just love him and his wife. I think they're just amazing, Sean and Tylene. I'm working with them on a new company that just came out that offers completely free merchant processing to businesses.
Oh, wow.
And so, currently businesses, if a business is doing $1 million, they're paying about $35,000, $36,000 for that to accept those credit cards. But it's changing, so it's like, remember we saw cash price, credit price in gas stations years ago? Well, now restaurants are doing it, and everybody's doing it so that they don't have to bear that extra cost. And most people don't care if they pay $10.39 instead of $10 for their.
Right.
It's still too much for a latte, as far as I'm concerned. But it's not the 39 cents that makes it too much. And so I'm helping to promote that because it helps businesses.
Oh.
And then if other people want to help promote it, it helps them as well, because there's reasonable.
That's amazing. Is there a minimum transaction amount?
Yeah,
or?
So they're giving you free equipment, so it doesn't cost anything for the business. So they're looking for businesses that are doing at least $10,000 a month, which is not that much.
Right.
Right.
A lot of, you'd be surprised, a lot of farmers markets people are doing that.
And completely free.
Completely free for the merchant. Yeah. So I look at things like that because I'm like, that's what businesses are going to be looking for.
Right.
How can I save more money? That's straight bottom line revenue. So things like that, and it's always exciting. I recently met some people in the energy space that I just love who they are, and they're total triple bottom line kind of really quality individuals, and I'm like, I'm going to help you however I can. I'm just going to show up because I want to be a part of what you're doing. And I think that's what we do. We show up and do our best.
Yeah. Well, and then like you said too, you only do things that you want to do, but we always talk about it. Do things you want to do, have fun with it, and then does it resonate with you? Do you believe in it? Because a lot of people are in something that they don't believe in, and so it's like, might as well do something that you believe in.
Definitely. I'm curious, how could both of those companies that you're working with, the nonprofits in Mexico and that merchant processing, how could they help each other? Because I know often the payments going to Mexico are the hard transactions to make, is because maybe the people that you're employing aren't able to access a bank, or they're not able to get those wire transfers. How can the payments that we're making to businesses in Mexico be benefiting us for our tax purposes and things like that, but them actually be able to use that money?
So,
how good was that episode?
So good. Let's celebrate.
Where do you want to go?
JoJo's Creamery.
Ooh, my favorite. Look at all the flavors.
They even have vegan.
Ooh, awesome.
Hi, welcome in, you guys.
Hi, thank you. How are you?
Good. Is there anything I can get started for you?
My go-to is peanut butter cup and coconut almonds.
So I'm gonna do coconut mounds in a cup, please.
All right, that'll be $15.85.
All right. Wait, my wallet.
June, you can use repegs.
Oh, that's right.
And you guys get 2 free cookies with those.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Repegs is so easy to use. Thanks a lot.
Good question, and it's like picking who you're working with.
Yeah.
You know, so like I chose to work with Corazon de Vida, and like GuideStar is what rates all nonprofits. You know, and so they win awards from GuideStar, where the largest percentage of the money that's donated, which is all a tax deduction because they're a California nonprofit. So the person here is getting the tax deduction, but the money is going straight to the orphanages there, and they do a really good job of it. Like their overhead is very minimal, and they're So it's picking how you do it. Like I was like, I don't want it to go to me. Like what's gonna be my GoFundMe? It was gonna be Corazon de Vida's GoFundMe. I was just helping to promote it. But that's the way to do it. And then other than that, I tend to stay out of it. I'm just like they're 28 years old. Right. So they've been supporting them for a long time.
Amazing. I wonder if there even could be some kind of intertwining with crypto, with the payments that you're donating to the orphanages and to Corazon, Corazon
de Vida.
De Vida.
Yeah.
So that could be international, and then hopefully is accruing more money, and then they could.
It's getting
remove
there.
The funds.
It's getting there. We're going to see that happen in the next 4 or 5 years.
Just
for
ask
sure.
ChatGPT.
It's coming. I think that's going to be huge, because I can send money to anyone instantly without having the overhead. And the challenge in the orphanages in Tijuana and all that, it's all local challenges. How do we get enough food? How do we get theirs is easy to solve, but the overall ability to be able to send money anywhere is definitely
interesting. And for them to be able to use it, because on a small family in a small town like outside of Oaxaca or something, they have to ride a bike to go to the bank, and if they're moving cash or something that's dangerous, or all these different technological
I can't wait
things.
till we get the banks out of it.
I know, right?
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
The regulations.
That nonprofit I've been on for 30 years, they're from West Africa. And when we send wire transfers or things, like, God, if there's a period off, a comma, like any little thing is such a nightmare.
Really?
It's just, it's hard. And we pay money to send those transfers. It's like, it's going to be so great when we could do crypto.
Wow.
Yes.
And it's coming.
It's coming.
Everything. I mean, everything's AI, crypto. It's all headed that way. Before we go, I also want to mention you have a podcast.
I do. So I have one season done. I'm starting filming the second season. It's called Going Deeper with David Steele.
Right.
And I use that metaphor because we're on the ocean on paddleboards.
Yeah.
And the first season was all environmental. I'm thinking of bringing some AI into the second season just because it's becoming more a part of my life.
Okay.
But I did some really incredible episodes in Costa Rica, in Hawaii. I did a ton of them in La Jolla. I've done them in Laguna Beach.
Wow.
And I bring people out on the water, and we just kind of I'm blessed to know some really, really incredible people that are doing like great things.
Right.
And I just want to highlight what they're doing. And so we just go out there and talk on the water. And the reason I started it is one of my premise values in anything I do is it has to be fun.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't want to do it if it's not going to be fun.
Value.
And so to me, there's nothing funner than being out on the ocean. And some of the people that I've done it with, we all become great friends.
Sure.
One of my, I flew to Florida. One of my buddies funded a company that put a data center on the moon.
Oh,
wow.
It's like, this is a thing. like
Really?
offsite storage for governments and other places.
What?
Not on this planet, on the moon.
All right.
And I'm like, I need to interview you.
Whoa.
So I flew there, and he's like, my friend is an environmental scientist, and he's mapping the ocean floor to study climate change. And I'm
Wow.
like, he's got the paddleboards. I'm like, I'm interviewing both of you
That's
guys.
amazing.
So I did those 2 interviews with them, and it was really fun. And the ocean where they are was really, really big that day, and we went on like the inner like lagoon side.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I went to one of the guys. I'm like, hey, why don't you do your manatee call? It would be so cool to see some manatees because they're like they're lucky. They're like amazing. Anyway, I said that, and like 10 seconds later, like
Shows
these
up.
manatees.
Whoa,
were-
wow.
Oh my gosh.
We didn't really get them on film because the water's murky. So
Wow. You can use AI.
I don't have these pro cameras. I have my GoPros.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what's that podcast and what platform?
It's if you go to davidsteele.org,
Okay.
I have a link on there that goes to going deeper, and I'm going
Wow.
to put it on its own when we do the second one. But yeah,
davidsteele.org.
davidsteele.org.
That's
Awesome.
amazing. Is that the best way for someone to get in contact with you?
Yeah, either of those 2 sites, everyone linked, or davidsteele.org.
Okay.
And then, one of the things when I was coming down here that I said is like, if someone is interested in like growing their business, like growing their clients, or implementing AI in the process of their business, then jump on Zoom.
Right. Jump on
And
Zoom.
it will bring up my Calendly for a 30-minute call, and
Wow.
and we'll jump on the call and talk and see what the possibility of possibilities are.
I love it. I feel like in the next 3 months, you're going to have more
Mhm.
projects. It's going to just keep growing and growing by the end
I
of the
don't
year.
know.
So.
I don't know. I have fun doing the nonprofit work. That
Right.
stuff's not work at all.
Yeah.
It's kind of easy,
Well, every time I see you, you're always smiling. I mean, you can just sense it. I love the energy you bring to the group every time I see you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, the group is pretty amazing. Like it's such a you could tell that we're within distance of the Yogananda's place
yeah.
right
Right.
there.
Right.
Like
The energy.
you can tell it's the energy, but then also the people.
Yeah.
Right.
The people
Yes.
that are like they're seekers and they're
Mhm.
healers,
Right.
and they're like, no, I want to make the world better this way.
Yes.
And I'll hear 12 introductions, and I'm like, 10 of them could have just like walked over from
Right.
self-realization right
Yeah.
to here. And
Yeah.
like, it's pretty funny. It's like only Encinitas could have these people.
Yeah.
Good point. Encinitas is unique in that way. Even yourself, you have all these, big businesses that you're working with, but you are a healer also because you are looking for this betterment of the world. And same with the people
Yeah.
who own the yoga studio and who do the breath work. It's like we all converge at the group, and some people are on the corporate side, some people are on the holistic health services side, and we all have the same mission.
Mhm.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, but there's lots of healers. It's pretty cool.
Right.
Lots of
Yeah.
years.
Every week we have 20.
Yeah.
But the thing too is and we talked about it last week, is that every week we have probably about 20
Mhm.
new people that show up. One week it's healers. The other week it's like
Yes.
business.
Yes, business
or-
attorneys.
Yeah, business attorney. And then it's healers. And so it's this balance, which I
Mhm.
love. It's attracting both
Mhm.
sides. And people come in with, if you come here with no expectation except to
Mhm.
be heart-centered, beautiful things happen. I mean,
It's my favorite cult.
yeah.
That's what we'll change the name to.
Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
favorite cult.
Our favorite cult. Exactly. Well, then the other thing too is we're going to call our members, we talked about it, groupies.
Yeah.
So they're going to be our
Yeah.
groupies. So we'll see.
Absolutely.
There you
Appreciate you being here. Thank you, Dr. Lassell. Thank you again. Like and subscribe on Spotify and YouTube. Natron, we're going to have to step up. Maybe next one we're going to do on paddleboards. I don't know. We'll see.
Sounds good.
But check out his podcast. Reserve a time, Zoom call with him as well, and go to the site and let's connect.
Beautiful. Thank you, June.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, David.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you both.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Natron.
Thank you.